Hey YouTube, it's now with Olympus Reptiles. You just caught me while I'm working my crank. This one I want the table higher. We're going to do another clutch update today. After I finish cranking it a little bit. So I can show, there we go. Perfect, 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 perfect. So what are we going to be doing? This is going to be our freeway clutch. So the pairing was a pastel freeway to a pastel inchy ivory. So that was the pairing. Unfortunately, randomly afterwards, we lost our pastel inchy ivory. Very, very sad. I've had him for several years. I still don't know what happened. He'd been eating good, breeding good, just came in one day, and that was that. Our collection's at a size now. We're going to lose a few adults probably every year, which sucks really bad. I hate doing that. It's probably my most hated thing. I hate losing adults and I hate losing babies. I've had time to get to know them, you know, and when you're producing this many babies, you're going to lose some babies every year too. So we produce more babies than we own adults, but you're going to have something go wrong with somebody. It's just part of it, whether it's a female that had something internally happen from having a clutch, or a male that develops an issue that you don't recognize or see. You're just going to lose a few. So we did lose that one. The female, let me see if I can pull her out for you really quick. Looks like, oh, don't bite me, girl. Looks like this. Oof. I'll bring her up here for you. Nice, big, healthy girl. And that is going to be a pastel freeway. So we have two pastel genes, an inchy gene. Yellow belly is going to be in everything. And if we catch yellow belly from her, we'll make ivories. And if we catch the asphalt from her, we're going to make freeway. So that's what we're looking for in the clutch. As big as you see this girl is, as thick as she is, you'd think, man, she must drop like 12 eggs. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? She's been pretty consistent in the last 2 years. She's gone for us, and she's dropped 6 eggs both years. I hope she has some more in her sometime. It'd be nice to get 8 out of a girl this size. But if she gives me 6 solid eggs every year, you're not going to hear me complain. I'll take it. She's been a good mother on that, and they've been good eggs. You ready to go back in, girl? Let's put you back in. Oof. She is getting bred again this year to a pastel ivory, or an ivory. We don't know what all's in it. Actually, could be a super pastel inchy ivory. Could be a super pastel ivory. Could be a lot of things. It's a smaller male. I'm going to get a few more males and make sure he's ready if we start pairing it to. That'll be the only female he pairs to. So we will try to repeat this clutch using a new male next year. But for now, let's start showing you off the babies. And the first one, I got to go to my special rack, and that is going to be 222601. Where are you? Here you are. Now, I did not keep the highest end snake I created, okay? Be careful when I rub up against rattlesnakes. This is the one I kept. And this is a straight freeway. The reason I kept the snake, and as you can see, she's getting some size to her. The reason I kept the snake is it's female. We had 3 females, 3 males in this clutch, and we did, so the sex odds are right where they should be. But I really wanted another female freeway. And this not being a combo, no big deal. Well, I guess it is a combo, so leave that combo to make the freeway. I can add the extra genes in with my yellow belly and my ivory stuff. And also I have a male that I kept from previous years that I can use when this is ready, or use not this year, but maybe even next year. He was a little bit of a slow grower. It was from her first clutch to create some super asphalts and everything else. So I wanted to have another female that's at least a freeway. So here we go. This is the one I chose out of the 2. We had 2 female freeways, and this was my favorite. And she is a good-looking little snake. Now, she can be cranky, a little bit cranky sometimes. Why did I choose her? Just overall, the colors and the look. On my freeways, I really like to have a very nice broken line. I like all that noise in the side. I want that yellow really well highlighted by the black. She was just a really good example of what I was looking for in a freeway. So that's why I decided that she was the one. Let me put her back and go to the next snake for you. I know. Don't worry about those buzzers. Every time I walk by this rack, it goes kind of a sound that makes me think, you know, it's a happy sound for me, not for most people. Next up will be 222602. Now this one is not going to be quite as cool. At least I don't think, but it's still pretty cool. Yes. And this one is an ivory. Probably got some other stuff going on in there maybe. It's just kind of got a lot of color. But the ivories really aren't truly solid white. You get kind of that bone color to them. Now before I take this one back, I'm going to bring the next one out because it's also an ivory. This is the last ivory in the clutch. So I want you to get a sense to see both ivories. This one is male. The next one is female. So this is going to be 26 or 222602. Let me get 03. Now again, these look different. And this one I'm certain has inchy in it. You can tell by the banding on it. So, whereas this one I'm not as certain about the inchy. But this one I do believe inchy's certainly in there. There's a lot going on in this one. You can see how the head's more broken in color. This one wouldn't surprise me if it's running like a... This could be like just an ivory pastel. Or even just an ivory. But it's got a lot of coloration in it, so I think pastel's probably in there. This, I think, is probably a super pastel inchy ivory, if I was a betting man. Could just be an inchy pastel ivory. What do you think, Caleb?
Looking at the heads, I would agree. I think this one is at least probably pastel inchy. For sure pastel inchy. Well, I don't want to say for sure because it's an ivory, but I would say pastel inchy ivory, probable super pastel.
Yeah, this is a really cool looking snake. It's a little bit one of the smaller ones in the clutch right now. We'll get size hopefully. So that's, yeah, this is female, this is male. So
I remember when that one hatched, we were
actually at
trying
first
to figure out what it was.
We thought we might have had a freeway in there.
Yeah,
you know,
because it was so
the
purple.
banding and the coloration. But as it came out, we realized, nope, we don't. There you two go. So next up would be number 4. Now this snake was a naughty snake. It didn't eat its meal. And people always wonder where, like, some year we always have a lot of flies we were dealing with. I will tell you why. You'll see them on the snakes too. They're really annoying. There's some things we can do to combat that a little more. This is another freeway female. Part of the reason we have that is the way I choose to feed babies. So what we'll do to feed baby snakes to try to get them eating is we will leave food in there. We don't do that with adults because food can turn on an adult snake and hurt it. Stupid little fly. See, like that is a fly. And I'll tell you a way you can tell apart. See, I can smear that. And it doesn't leave a streak. Mites leave streaks, flies don't. So there you go. Here's the thing. We'll leave that food in there with them frequently to try to induce them to eat to get these babies started. So you're talking about a little hopper mouse. Can't bite them, can't hurt them. Sometimes they kill it and leave it. Sometimes the food jumps in the water dish and kills itself. It is a little bit of a waste of that food item, which sucks, but the goal is to get these animals eating. When that happens, or when they kill it in there or it dies in there while we're waiting for them to eat it, because some of them are newborns away from their mom still in milk, that can cause you to get some flies sometimes. So we're always dealing with flies this time of year. For some of you that think, oh, what does it look like? Right there, there's one. Just a little fruit fly. Boop. And again, see on the finger? I can take it. No blood. Mites would have a blood meal. That's the quickest way to tell. If you ever wonder what bug you got, spread it on your fingernail, spread it on a table. And if it leaves this long, dark streak, you probably got a mite. And if you keep reptiles long enough, you're going to have a mite. It's going to happen. I've had them. I've had to deal with them. Y'all will get them too if you keep a bunch of reptiles for any length of time. It's not that hard to get fixed. The trick with mites is get on it, get it fixed, get it taken care of before it spreads to your collection. That's what you do. All right, let's put this one back up. Again, just another really nice freeway. But if you notice the difference in this one than what I showed before and what kind of made the choice, this has really nice yellow, really good black on it too. It doesn't quite have the same noise. I don't feel it's quite as bright as the other one. So we're going to part with this one. But I'll let you guys know who aren't Patreon members and are thinking about it. This is often sometimes the kind of things end up as a Patreon special. Not always, but I'm giving you a hint. This is some of the things that get heavily discounted end up as a Patreon special. I've already marked most of those for the year. This is some of the things that kind of gets maybe marked that way down the road. When, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you when. I don't even know that myself. But we will release things like female freeways as Patreon only specials and exclusives at highly discounted prices. So that's part of the fun of being. Let me put this one back. Yeah, come on, girly.
Could you imagine the first person to create the freeways and highways and stuff like that? Just because they're so drastically different.
I would have shit my pants.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Right there. You know what I mean?
I mean, just looking at that female freeway as it got older, it was just crazy. I could not imagine.
Now, this is the one in the clutch that's fighting me, okay? This little turd bucket right here has been a fight from the word go. It does have meals in it. You're going to see it smaller than the rest of them. It is one I have assist fed. I'm trying to get it going on its own. Feels like it needs to have a shed just from the way the skin feels. Everything looks healthy on it for the most part, other than it's just a little small. You know, we got the body condition going good. It's a little thin through there, but that's actually because it just had a poop. But it is taking food. It is holding it down. It is passing it through. So I think eventually we'll get this thing to go on its own. That's my hope. Again, we're not having to force feed this. I'm just having to assist feed this one. You're good, you're going. And what this is a freeway, or sorry, not a freeway. Of course it's a freeway. It's a Mardi Gras. We label as possible pastel because some head blushing looks pretty cool. But it's a Mardi Gras. That's what I think we got going on here. We'll see in a few more sheds and how the color looks to really kind of get that fully identified. But a really, really awesome snake nonetheless. So, but it is also not the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop's coming next. The one I kept for myself, which I'll show you that one from last year when we're done, was also hard to get going. There you go, buddy. So this thing is the cat's pajamas, or whatever you want to say, man. This thing's just awesome. That is a what we believe to be a super pastel Mardi Gras. It's at least pastel Mardi Gras, but I'm pretty certain it's super pastel. You can see its weight's bigger. It's not massive yet. I mean, these clutches aren't that old, to be blunt, guys. We kind of had all of them at the end at the same time. So, you know, they're going to get their size as we go through. It is eating good. The head's very, very blush. That's why we think we probably have the super in here. We'll let it go a little longer before we choose. It is male. So is the last one. But this snake, to me, is one of the prettiest combos you're going to make. Like, I love these things. I love them so much. This was a girl. There's no way I'm parting with it. I was really bummed when I popped 2 hemipanes out of it because I wanted to keep this animal so bad, but it just wasn't meant to be. They age well too, as you saw from the mom that I pulled out, which is a pastel freeway. Now you're going to slap some inchy in there. It's going to just do amazing things. It's going to just be just a gorgeous snake. So really cool, you know, really cool. Put you back. Now I'm going to show you one bonus snake, and this was one that was hard to get going from last year's clutch. It was still small, but we do have it going. It's eating great on its own now, like a beast. It'll catch up pretty fast. Where are you at? Oh, there you are, right in front of me. So this will probably be a breeder next season, not this coming season. This is labeled as a pastel Mardi Gras as well. It could end up being a super. Just to give you an idea of what you're going to have down the road with these snakes. They are, I don't think this is a super. I don't think it's white enough like the other one is. But damn, these things are cool, man. So this is what you're going to end up getting. And even though some of them are hard to start, and this was what I had to assist feed originally, now it takes food like right off the tongue like a boss. It'll eat whatever. So this is what these things kind of turn into. So, you know, everybody just shows the little babies. I want to show you some of the ones growing up, some of the adults. And the reason this one never made it to market last year was because I kept it. Whoop, there you go. Now you're out and about. And this is a male. So I told you we kept a male for future breeding purposes. Look at the back end here, how gorgeous that thing is. You're getting cantankerous, I can tell already. That's okay, be cantankerous. So anyway, that is clutch number 26, our freeway clutch. Only freeway clutch we're going to have this year. We are working up to having more of those, obviously. Here, bite Caleb. There you go. Caleb, any questions before we get off of here?
Nope.
What do you think of the snake we kept from last year?
I think this is crazy. I think freeways and that whole complex is heavily underrated, as they're just so drastically different and not. I don't want to say simple, but they're not like something that's got 8 genes on it. They're not something. They're easy to get the parts to, but they just make such drastically different looking snakes.
You know, and their price is come down quite a bit from what it was. So they're getting that thing where if you're just wanting a cool pet, I mean, this is becoming an animal that's within that realm of like, okay, I can do that for a cool pet. Whereas before, it would have been astronomically too expensive to do. This is one of those snakes too that I don't really care what the price gets to. These things could drop to a fairly low cost, and I would still want to make them.
Yeah,
because they're just freaking awesome. And one thing you'll see is as these things drop, and when the price gets down to where it's like all these incomplete dominant combos are going to do, especially when you're doing incomplete dominant, that half of it is one of the most common genes in yellow belly. It's not going to be a super expensive snake forever. But you'll see a lot of people then abandon it. A great example of that is Mystic Potion. Not a ton of people making Mystic Potions now because they're not going for, $1,200, $1,400, $1,500. But here's the thing. If they look kick-ass, they look kick-ass. This looks kick-ass. It could get down, which it's not right now, I promise you. It could get down where this is a $300 snake eventually one day. And I'm still going to make them because they kick ass. So, that's kind of where that's at. All right, anything else you want to talk about before we get off of here?
Nope.
I'm going to put Cranky Pants back in his cage. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to do that. Bad idea. Ain't going to work out so well for you. Yeah. See, you did good. Didn't bite me. That's a nice snake. All right, guys, that is all I got. We're going to slide on over to Patreon and talk about what we're going to do with these. We'll catch you next time.